7 straight goals fueling UNLV's 15th straight win. The Skating Rebels getting a huge dub over Jamestown on Friday night. Will UNLV draw even with their longest ACHA winning streak ever at 16 games? Let's find out if Jamestown has anything to say about it. Jamestown Jimmies, the UNLV Skating Rebels going to battle once again next. Night 2 of 2 coming up here at City National Arena. The UNLV Skating Rebels looking for win number 16 in a row. This time coming against the Jamestown Jimmies. Thank you all for joining us once again. I'm your host, Dominic DeBlois, and play-by-play commentator, joined by AJ Reed. AJ, thanks for joining me on the broadcast once again. Multiple different goal scorers, 7 unanswered goals last night for UNLV. Quite the performance from them.
Yeah, they were sharing the sugar for sure, or whatever you want to call it, but really good to be back here in City National. You know, maybe you had a tough playoff break today, get away from that for a few hours tonight. But yeah, looking forward to a good UNLV Jamestown matchup. Should be a really physical game. If anything was, the end of the last game was anything to tell.
Yeah, you're going to be kind of forgetting your sorrows a little bit. The Chargers losing in the playoffs to the Houston Texans earlier on this afternoon, but we're going to go ahead and get things rolling off the top. Here are some impact players. First up, UNLV, Justin Stathopoulos. Stathopoulos having 2 assists last night and adding on to his point total of 9, not scoring a single goal in ACHA competition yet. He always says he has one in him, but he also said last night he's a bit of a better passer anyways.
Yeah, we'll see if he has one in him tonight. You know, he had the goal against Denver, I believe, earlier this season, and it's been a game changer. He's part of this youth movement for UNLV and assisting Heath Bench on the 5th goal of the night. He's also a part of that youth movement that we're seeing from the Skating Rebels, so sure to keep an eye on those 2 players going forward.
And a bit of a strange one, if you will, the impact player for Jamestown, Brandon Weir, giving up 7 unanswered goals, 37 saves on 44 shots last night. A typical hockey fan would kind of squint at that and be like, how is he going to be the impact player? But from my assessment, he did seem to keep Jamestown in the game for the beginning part of their collapse last night.
Yeah, he had some great saves, especially one against Hayden Siegel on the penalty kill. Looked like he saved it with his pant leg, but came away with that one in the glove. Certainly wasn't his fault that the Jimmies fell behind. It was definitely their offensive zone time. They weren't really getting any good looks on offense. Really were doing him no favors on defense. He's the impact player. He's the guy they rely on all season long, and he's the one to watch.
We're going to see if Brandon Weir has a better performance in him tonight on Saturday night. And as we keep this pregame open rolling, we're going to send things ringside with Zoe Salas and Kyle Sparrow.
I'm here with forward number 12, Justin Stathopoulos. Justin, didn't get out to the greatest start yesterday. What are you guys looking to do in the first period tonight?
Yeah, we're trying to bring that second period from yesterday to our first period today. I think we got to come out strong. We know they're going to come out after yesterday's performance, so we just got to match them and bring them the pace.
And then what are some things you like that you're going to take into today's game?
We were putting the puck in the net yesterday, so hopefully we keep that going, just get shots, and hopefully make them work for it.
Do you got one in yet today?
I hope so. All
right.
Yeah, I'll be firing, so yeah.
Thank you. Now I'll send it over to Zoe Salas.
Thanks so much for that, Kyle. Like Justin Stathopoulos said, their team is going to really be looking to keep that pace up tonight, just like the energy was up for last night's game, and finish this second night here with another win, hopefully for the Skating Rebels. Let's give it over to you, Dom and AJ.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Kyle. And thank you to the viewer for coming on back to UNLV Skating Rebel Hockey, Jamestown and UNLV night 2 of 2, as we mentioned in the open, AJ. If UNLV wins this game, they tie their program record at the ACHA Men's Division I level for 16 straight wins.
Yeah, and this team really has it all so far, it seems. I mean, they have the win against Denver, really impressive stuff. But the win streak on its own. They've played some really competitive teams. Talking about Jamestown twice, if you include the Chicago Classic in there. You know, Arizona a few times. And GCU, and they played really well against GCU, who's had a much better season so far this year. So overall, really impressive stuff from the Skating Rebels.
Yeah, UNLV really, if you want to eliminate that lone loss that they had against Arizona State early on in the season, and talking to all the players involved with this program and the staff, they really kind of thought that loss was a bit of a fluke, if you will. I mean, they were without Caleb Strong, they were without Matias Dalmonte, they were without Mason Kelly. Tristan Rand went down for some time after taking a hit up high in that game. They let in a lot of goals from the point. So we could very well, if that game went right, be looking at an undefeated ACHA team here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dom. And when you think about it, you know, all kind of things went wrong for the Rebels that night. They got behind early, weren't able to really get back into it, and ASU really capitalized, pouring it on. I think they ended up with the 6 goals in that game, winning that one 6-3, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, a lot of flukiness happened in that for the Sun Devils, but we could be looking at an undefeated UNLV team, and you know, maybe that one loss it wakes them up. You know,
I really do think that loss did wake them up.
You don't have that pressure too, the added pressure sometimes of being an undefeated team. And
yeah. Less pressure, less eyes on you, and I've talked with a few of the people inside the program earlier on tonight, AJ, and just kind of over the weekend and over the course of the week, and this was before your time, but in the 2021-22 season, the Skating Rebels were on a 16-game winning streak, but that was when they were still kind of bursting onto the scene, so there was all kinds of headlines around this team, and it was a big deal, and now they're 15 straight wins, and no one's batting an eye, so it really shows how far this program's come and how high the bar has been raised since about 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, and it really goes to show the depth that this team has brought together. Really, when we talk to all these coaches before the games, the visiting team coaches, they always talk about how there's really not one guy you can just focus on for UNLV.
Yeah.
You got to focus on playing an entire team of guys who can beat you any night.
Yeah, and speaking of some of the guys that are able to beat you on any given night at any time, let's going to take a look at the UNLV starters. First up, Tristan Rand, Dylan Jensen, and Caleb Strong, the forwards. In the back end, Dylan Ford and Joey Carollo. And in between the pipes, once again, Jeremy Foreman holding down the blue paint for the Skating Rebels. Back-to-back starts for the UNH grad transfer for Jamestown. Brad Fortin, Zay McDonald, and Darius Maxey, the forwards. Brendan Volcano and Wyatt Johnson, the defenseman. And as we mentioned in the open, Brandon Weir starting in goal after a 37-save loss last night, giving up 7 unanswered goals. Look for Weir and company, along with head coach Dean Stork, for the Jimmies to bounce back tonight and possibly split their second consecutive series against UNLV in the last about 18 months. So we're going to take a step away for the opening ceremony, ceremonial puck drop, and national anthem. Stay with us. Jamestown and UNLV just ahead.
Please welcome the guys from ESPN Radio, Q Myers. And now for our second puck drop from the Vegas Golden Chariots is Dylan Chalmers. And now let's welcome for our third puck drop, Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able for our national anthem, presented by Pittsburgh Injury Law. Here to perform the Star Spangled Banner, please welcome to the ice, Danica Ruiz.
All right, and there you have it. The ceremonial puck drops and the national anthem all said and done. Once again, that was Q Myers and the Vegas Golden Chariots dropping the ceremonial pucks here tonight. 7 unanswered goals fueling a UNLV win over Jamestown last night. Their 15th straight in ACHA competition, one shy of their record, 16 set in the 2021-22 season that got snapped at the hands of the Liberty Flames on the road in Lynchburg, Virginia. So taking a look once again at the starters for tonight's action. First up, UNLV, Tristan Rand, Dylan Jensen, and Caleb Strong. The forward lines, Dylan Ford and Joey Carolla, the defenseman, and Jeremy Foreman holding down the blue paint for the Skating Rebels. Looking at Jamestown, Brad Fortin's in, McDonald and Darius Maxey, the forwards, Brendan Volcano and Wyatt Johnson on the blue line, and Brandon Weir in between the pipes for the Jimmies. Scoring by committee last night, AJ, 7 unanswered goals as we just mentioned. UNLV picking up a huge win after settling in, but Jamestown looking to answer here tonight.
Yeah, and you know, we thought they had a good first period last night, but talking to their head coach, Dean Stork, he really said that they didn't have a good anything last night. We need to be better all the way around. We need a better effort. Even the goal, he said, was a fluky, lucky play that Jeremy Foreman should have saved.
And Jeremy Foreman, that was his lone goal against. As Brad Fortin moves in, puts one on net. Foreman knifing at it, couldn't get there. And we have a bit of contact behind the play between Carolla and Fortin. Keaton Klein, the lone goal scorer last night for the Jimmies. Opening up the scoring as Fortin shoots one that gets blocked away by Foreman. Jamestown starting out with early zone pressure, much like they did last night in the first period. UNLV looking to get settled in. They said last night that they had to get adjusted to the speed that Jamestown played with. Assistant coach Nick Ravoni felt that they adjusted pretty quickly as a shot finds the chest of Jeremy Foreman. He holds for a whistle. That was Cole Christensen.
Yeah, they adjusted well indeed. Coming out in that, you know, I've talked about it so many times already, but that delayed penalty, able to get so many shots or so many passes, clean passes off, and then coming out on the power play really changed the momentum of this game for UNLV.
And as you mentioned, Dean Stork not happy top to bottom as Foreman fields that bouncing puck from the point. Not happy top to bottom with his team's effort. And speaking to him pregame, I've framed it essentially like, hey, you guys came out of the gates pretty fast, and he essentially stopped me in my tracks. He was like, well, I didn't really like our effort point blank period, and sure, we scored an early goal, but Keaton Klein's goal was kind of fluky. He got lucky with the turnover, and as he said in the open, he believed Jeremy Foreman should have had that.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't say there was any success to start the game, which is not what we saw. But, we saw Jamestown kind of putting on really good offensive zone pressure, just not getting really good shots. But we see that with a few teams, and eventually they do put some shots on and find a way to get to the back of the net. But, yeah, Dean Stork did not agree.
And UNLV was outshot for the early portions of last night's game, much like they are right now through just over a minute and a half of play. Jamestown with all 3 shots in the game so far. Brandon Weir really hasn't faced any offensive zone rushes, and here's his first. Heath Mensch shoots one. His shot gets tipped to the high glass by the stick of Alec Arachuk. And we have a whistle and an offensive zone draw for the Rebels.
And we want to go to Brandon Weir. We talked about him. He's the impact player tonight. And even going back to when we're talking to the head coach, he said he just played all right.
He did.
He didn't think anyone played well, which, you lose 7-1, you give up 7 unanswered. That's a fair thing to say. But
not a lot of praise from Dean Stork, and just not taking it as a negative or looking at it as a negative. As the puck finds its way on net again, Foreman holds for another whistle. It just kind of shows how high this program is held.
And, he didn't have a lot of high things to say about Jamestown, but he certainly had good things to say about UNLV.
He did. He essentially said for any UNLV parents out there watching that this is UNLV's year. He believes that anything short of a national championship, if he were to coach UNLV, he would be disappointed. So lots of praise from outside sources for this UNLV program. And I mean, when you've been playing at such a high level, you beat Denver, the defending NCAA Division I national champion. You're going to have all eyes on you. You're going to have plenty of people talking about you, much like Dean Stork, where they believe this is your year to win the national championship.
Yeah, and we talked about, that one loss, taking a little bit of pressure off, but certainly still a lot of pressure on this UNLV team, just with all the outside eyes and the media attention growing the past couple weeks especially.
There are multiple media outlets attending practice and the games as of late. We had multiple media outlets out last night as a shot from the point gets deflected wide. It looked like it was Brendan Volcano, and it was letting that shot go. Johnson tried to put one on net, doesn't make it through. Jamestown continues their offensive zone pressure, and a shot from the slot finds its way into the glove of Jeremy Foreman. That was Zane McDonald, the top line center tonight, going to one knee to put everything into that shot.
Well, Jamestown already looking much better, it feels like, today than yesterday. I know they had some good offensive zone time, but they're getting much better looks already to start today where they didn't really last night.
5 shots on goal for the Jimmies, 0 for UNLV still. The only shooting opportunity is Heath Mensch on the left wing boards, and his shot got tipped up into the netting by Alec Arachuk. Now here come the Rebels. There's Devin Nagra, excuse me. Now fed to the slot. Nagra tips it on and into the catching mitt of Brandon Weir, and Dylan Jensen taking on a few Jimmies. Cole Christensen coming in from behind, and Jensen not too pleased with Carter Johnson. Carter Johnson, a guy who drew the ire of a few Skating Rebels players last night. He was mixing it up a lot, but a bit of a different look tonight for the Jimmies. A few new names slotting into the lineup. Malachi Franklin out there now. He's the extra skater. And James Houghton is the 4th line winger for the Jimmies. So a pair of new names for Jamestown in the lineup tonight. Pretty similar lineup for the Skating Rebels. Parker Williams slots in for Ronan Keenan. That's about the only change you got in the lines for the Skating Rebels. Now there's Franklin. Scoops it around the wall. Thomas plays it up for Christensen, who gets pickpocketed by Strong. Kyle Quinn fans on his pass and gets the puck taken away from him in his own end. Fed up top, and a shot, they score! Jamestown strikes first in back-to-back nights. Mario Decapite takes the lid off and stares down the UNLV bench.
Well, Decapite strikes first tonight. I had it wrong last night. I said he struck first. This time he actually did.
Bit of foreshadowing from you last night.
Unfortunately so.
And once again, that glove side for Jeremy Foreman gets beat. So UNLV trailing for the second time this weekend. Back-to-back nights, the Jimmies strike first. So we'll see if UNLV can get back and tie this game back up. Here's Decapite on the right wing again. Decapite driving the zone. He gets bumped hard and goes spinning to the ice. And a shot from the points goes into the glove of Foreman, and a bit of a flyby cross check from Keaton Klein to Kyle Quinn.
Well, I don't think anyone's surprised at the uptick in the physicality to start this game. We mentioned in the pregame, you get 7 goals scored on you unanswered, you're going to come out the next day, and you're really going to want to send a message early, and that's exactly what Jamestown is doing. They got the goal, and now they're trying to up the physicality.
Shots are 7-2, 1-0 in goals, both in favor of the Jimmies. And we have a stoppage of play once again. 15:37 remaining. So UNLV once again trying to claw back from a 1-goal deficit back-to-back nights. Mario Decapite breaking through for the Jimmies, second different goal scorer for Jamestown in as many games. Matthew Pooley behind the net. It's his deep partner Alec Erichuk, and his pass intended for the stick of James Hooten doesn't make it in. Now UNLV recoiling in their own end. The pass rink wide doesn't make it to the stick of Oliver Band. It gets touched up. Heath Mensch with the takeaway below the goal line. Mensch on the backhand up top, and a shot from Williams, and they score. Parker Williams ties the game up at 1.
That did not take long. UNLV, Parker Williams.
Not as long as it took last night.
No.
Last night, late in the first period, UNLV tied the game up. Bradley Glon on the power play. This time, Parker Williams slotting back into the lineup, scoring a similar goal to ones that he scored so far this year, AJ, coming screaming off the bench into the zone and just letting one rip from the slot.
And it really goes to show the depth of this UNLV team. And, you know, they're not getting the best offensive zone time, offensive looks so far this game, but they're taking advantage of the ones they get.
That was just UNLV's third shot on net in about 5.5 minutes of play, and they find Twine. So the shutout bid for each goaltender lasts about 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes maybe exactly into this one. But looking at it, it's a 0-0 hockey game once again. Icing's waved off. Williams shakes off pressure from Volcano. And Hayden Siegel dumps it in once more. Mike Johnson off the wall for Volcano. Now head up over his own blue line. Tries to snap a pass to Capite. The icing's waved off. Linesman in the back says that made contact with something. It goes off the stick of Kyle Quinn into the corner. Tristan Rand finds it, shoots one off the glove. Jensen settles it down, centering try. Cut off by Decapite, and here's Keaton Klein. Klein on the tape for Baroneski. Plays that one in, and it gets sent into the zone. As Matthew Pooley sending the puck deep into the Rebel zone as some fresh Jimmies players get on the ice. UNLV starting to rush. Here comes Tristan Rand, cuts to the center, and offsides.
Well, that last goal, that last puck really got away from Brandon Weir. Almost a tricky rebound opportunity. Jensen was looking for Caleb Strong, just couldn't get it to him in the slot. But I don't know what happened on that one, but it bounced funny. You know, the puck weirdly shaped, so it bounces kind of funny.
Yeah, and it looked like Weir thought that the puck was safely in the webbing of his trapper, and that's what I thought too when he closed his glove. I thought it was in his glove, and I was expecting a whistle, and then I saw the puck come bouncing out to the faceoff dot, and I'm sure Weir was startled by that. I was caught off guard by that as well. But the follow-up, second chance opportunity, as I said, didn't make it on net. Now Bradley Gallant, 2 goals last night. Gains the red line, sends it across corner. Wyatt Johnson picks it up under pressure from Preston Brodziak. Puck gets sent back into the zone, settled down by Volcano. Volcano over the red line and sends it in on net, and Foreman snips it out of midair and holds for a whistle, 12:32 to go. Already 1-1, Parker Williams tying the game up a few moments ago. Mario Decapite opening the scoring for Jamestown early in the first period. So the offense already showing up for both teams in the opening 10 minutes of the first period. Pooley gets upended by Stathopoulos on the bench, and we're going to have a penalty. Christensen gives Heath Mensch a cross check, and Carter Johnson comes in as well. Stathopoulos just absolutely tattooed Matthew Pooley in front of the door of the Jimmies bench. Pooley's up and back sitting on the pine. And it's going to be Justin Stathopoulos, our impact player for tonight, going to be sitting.
Well, impact on the game in other ways than we expected. Going to the box.
And, I mean, he made his impact known there. Just Stathopoulos, we've talked about it all season long. He's one to really throw the body around. And he did it there, sending Pooley to the ice emphatically. But he's going to sit 2 minutes for charging Jamestown on the power play. Looking to get a lead once again, but here comes Bradley Gallant, and Dylan Ford tips it on net into the chest of Brendan Ware, and Dylan Ford showing off the legs that you don't really see often as a defenseman, joining the rush and reaching out to deflect that puck on net to try and finish that scoring chance for Bradley Gallant.
Well, that's something where I'm really curious to see, because the Jamestown power play last night was lackluster. Really didn't get anything going, didn't really look cohesive, and they let up a lot of shorthanded opportunities, and they're already letting up shorthanded opportunities tonight right there.
Now Jamestown reloading and gaining the zone. And that puck goes off the linesman and just inside the red line. Now Volcano at his own blue line on the tape. Now Dalmonte with the takeaway inside of his own zone, trying to find Hayden Siegel. The pass just goes behind the freshman. Foreman steers that puck to the corner, and it gets sent down the length of the ice. Under a minute to go on the Stathopoulos charging minor, as well as the Jamestown power play. Now here comes Pooley winding up a rush for the Jimmies. Drop pass for Fortin. And Baroneski's zone entry gets broken up, and the puck gets chopped up the ice and settled down now by McDonald. And now here's Pooley trying to wind up another rush. Over his own blue line, over the red line, on the tape, on the right wing for Carter Johnson. Pulls up the goal line, gets canceled out by Gallant. And Gallant flicks that one out of the zone. Brandon Weir comes out of his net. On the tape now for Fortin. Gets bumped by West as he sends that puck in. Klein's on the opposite wall, trying to get that one going, but he couldn't. Here's Jackson Wyatt joining the rush as a defenseman. Wyatt couldn't drop that one off. declines there on the back check. UNLV back to full strength. Great kill from the Rebels. As Fortin sends that puck on net. We have another whistle. Foreman holds on to it. 10:09 to go. And at the end of that power play for the Jimmies, as you mentioned, AJ, that was another shorthanded opportunity for the Rebels.
Yeah, and the power play, I don't know what's going on with their unit this weekend, but really not cohesive, not getting any good looks. Their top scorer is number 21, Jordan Baronski. He's got 5 goals on the power play. Up next is Darius Maxey with 4. And none of those guys seem to have been going on that power play or last night. So really either a really good kill from the Rebels or lackluster effort from Jamestown.
And possibly both. Could have been a factor. And now here's Joey Carollo joining the rush as a forward. He played forward a few times this season due to injuries. That rush dissolves, though. Kept at the line by Carollo. He shoots one, blocked by Klein. Now Ram picks up, turns one on into the glove of Ware. And he'll hold on for a whistle. 9:38 to go. We reach our first media timeout. We're going to take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Skating Rebels next weekend. 5 p.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific time. They take on Missouri State at the Brightspeed Ice Park out in Missouri. UNLV hasn't played Missouri State in some time on the road in Missouri. It was during that 2021-22 season. It was the last time they played Missouri State point blank period in the regular season. San Diego State next up, 11:59 p.m. puck drop, another midnight game on January the 23rd and then the 24th. Standard 7:30 p.m. puck drop at City National Arena, and then UNLV heads to the buses and hits the road up to Salt Lake City to take on Utah on January 31st and February 1st, both coming at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, looking forward to the Missouri State series. I think they did play them in the national tournament. That was their opening game, and they won that one handedly, if I remember correctly.
They
took over in the third period.
And Missouri State, a divisional opponent as well.
Looking forward to that one. San Diego State, the midnight show, I believe.
Yep.
And then Utah. Those are always competitive games up there in Salt Lake. So some good competition for the Skating Rebels upcoming.
And Utah with a bit of an advantage. Their sheet of ice at the Salt Lake City Sports Center is Olympic size.
Wow.
So all of those games that UNLV plays, historically it is typically a struggle, much like their games in Tempe is a bit of a struggle.
Well, it's hard to prepare for something like that.
Especially against a team that skates on it for half the season. Conditioned to it, and they also know how the boards act, they know how the kick plates act, because that does vary from rink to rink, is how springy the boards are and how much the puck kicks off the boards and the kick plates as well. It's much like different basketball courts, AJ. Some guess types of wood bounce differently in different arenas and different climates. There's dead zones at times. And players study that.
So always interesting to see the little nuanced details that go into a game like that, like how things bounce off the boards and how it bounces off the floor. It's really neat to hear, and another angle of the game that you're not really used to seeing.
Yeah, not a lot of people talk about that type of game, and City National Arena has its own kind of quirks a little bit, as there's a few dashers or stanchions, I should say, that come out weird, and you get a puck that kicks off a glass in a weird way or kicks off a kick plate or a door. The net directly to our left, AJ, and the viewers left as well, comes off the moorings a lot as well. Just a couple of little nuances here at the City National Arena. 7.5 minutes and counting to go. Still 1 a pop. Tied up at 1 between these two teams. Mario DeCapite breaking through for Jamestown, and Parker Williams tying the game up at 1. As Jamestown ices the puck, and UNLV is set up with an offensive zone draw.
That was a long little back and forth there by the teams. You know,
Yep.
I think our last stoppage was the media timeout, and then they went for 4 or so minutes, it felt like.
Yeah, and
And not a lot of offense, just a lot of.
No, just kind of dump and change, dump and let off.
Oh, ref took one there.
Almost the protective visor. Something a lot of people are starting to vouch for in the ACHA. Everyone's starting to want the players to wear the half shield rather than a cage or a full face shield. And the University of Colorado Boulder making some headlines. They played an exhibition game and their players were wearing the half shield, and those clips went pretty viral on social media as Jensen turns one on and misses the net high and wide. To Capite cancels them out along the wall. Tristan Rand lost his stick in the door. He has his piece of hardware back, and Sean Kerriman with a big hit on Jordan Baraneski, and Kerriman shoots one from the dot. Save made, and the rebound kicks out to the stick of Baraneski. Now send it in. Physicality picking up once again. Sean Kerriman took a hit last night and took a hit in the Arizona State series, and now he's starting to dish it back to the opposing team. Now here's Bradley. Gallant misplays the puck and gets canceled out by Erichuk. Puck flutters harmlessly on net. Brandon Weir finds it and holds for a whistle.
Really good opportunity by UNLV right there. Kerriman with a look and dishing out some hits.
That's just a great effort. Really solid 15 to 20 seconds, maybe even 10 if you want to say that for Kerriman. Great hit along the half wall to keep the puck in the zone. Picks up a loose puck and gets a good shot on net, creating a rebound. Good display from the freshman. Cole Wyatt, meanwhile, keeps the zone. Puck finds its way deeper into the zone. Volcano sends it around the wall, and it gets chopped out by Felipe Lassard. He's tied up with Joey Carollo at the official's crease. Puck's dug out. And now here's Preston Brodziak. Brodziak shoots one, misses the net wide on the blocker side. Lassard gets body position on Carollo, wins the puck battle. Dylan Ford creating a log jam at the blue line. That's Lassard digging at it. Now here's Heath Mensch. Delayed penalty upcoming. Oliver Bam between the legs, cuts back. Up top for Stathopoulos. Now down low for Band. Up top, Dalmonte moves into the slot. He loads up. He shoots. Blocked in front. Dalmonte gets his own rebound. Spins it up top for Tristan Rand. Arm raised still on the official. UNLV going to go on the power play here shortly. Now here's Stathopoulos on the pitch and catch. Back to Rand. Rand shoots. Pad. Save. Brandon Weir. What a stop by the Jimmies netminder. And Maxey finally touches up. What a chance on the give and go for Stathopoulos and Rand. And a better save for Brandon Weir.
Great save from Brandon Weir, but a similar situation to the end of the first period last night. Get that delayed penalty, which I believe is going to be a trip. And
James Hooten.
Really good cycling there from UNLV. Get a shot off from Matias Dalmonte. He gets his own rebound, then passes it back. And Justin Stathopoulos with a beautiful pass to Tristan Rand down there on the left side. Just couldn't bury it, and a great save from Brandon Weir.
Just that amazing give and go swing play from Stathopoulos and Rand, and kudos to Stathopoulos for being able to get that pass on the tape for Tristan Rand, but once again, a better save from Brandon Weir. Being able to lurch post to post and get that orange and black pad along the ice to stop that puck.
And this UNLV power play unit was the difference maker last night, setting the tone in the first period. Get our first look at them tonight.
And there's the man who scored the opening power play goal. Bradley Gallant making his way in. He couldn't feed Brodziak the trailer. This puck gets sent cross corner down the length of the ice. Fresh power play unit coming on for the Rebels.
Yeah, Tristan Rand, Heath mentioned Preston Brodziak, the leading power play scorers for UNLV. 4 for Rand and 2 for Mensch and Brodziak.
Takeaway for the Jimmies, and it's Brad Fortin who got tripped up there after the takeaway. No arm raised on the official. We play on. Tristan Rand pulls up. Sano's the backup goalie along the bench. Finds Caleb Strong. Now Jackson Wyatt up top. Reverses ice for Heath Mensch. About 45 seconds to go. Back up top for Wyatt. Now Strong with a drive. Rebound chance. Stathopoulos gets robbed. Another shot. They score. Heath Mensch 2 goals in as many games and another power play goal for the Rebels. They take their first lead with 3.5 to go in the first.
His third power play goal of the season right after we brought it up on a great series for UNLV. Gets it off the rebound try, I believe, or it might have been a pass. But great finish from Heath Mensch to put the Rebels on top 2-1. It's exactly what we saw last night to a certain extent.
Yeah, Mensch just in a good position. Stathopoulos got jammed essentially right where he stood. He found the loose puck on the rebound, tried to put it back on net. He had a yawning cage. Brandon Weir was still trying to get over to get in position to make the stop, and Jamestown comes right back, and Carollo, blocks that with his stick. He's testing the flex of his twig, making sure he's still able to use it, and he is. Heath Mensch just following the loose puck, playing where the puck's going to be, and gets rewarded on the power play. Carter Johnson drives the net, loose puck out in front, and they do not score. The puck ended up in the back of the net. The official waving it off immediately. Carter Johnson was leading that rush. And it looks like Cole Christensen is begging with the refs, and he isn't going to get what he wants. I believe he's skating back to the bench awfully frustrated.
I thought they had one, Dom. Jeremy Foreman out of the net there had a wide open chance, it looked like, for Jamestown, but no goal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the net came off of its moorings there or not. We have a monitor, but we couldn't really see there, but we're going to play on. UNLV still with 2-1 lead. Now out shooting Jamestown 12-11. Here's Preston Brodziak and Bradley Gallant looking to add to it. Gallant shoots one. Seared aside. Niagara puts one back on net. Doesn't make it there. Niagara bats it out of the air. Couldn't keep the zone. In the skates of Klein, who plays it over for Baroneski. And Gallant whacks it off the glass and out of the zone. Down the length of the ice for an icing. So hockey giveth, hockey taketh away.
It does indeed. It does indeed.
Could be seen as a pretty fickle sport. Bit of a mess out in front of Brandon Weir, and Heath Mensch gets rewarded, gives UNLV the lead. A mess out in front of Jeremy Foreman. The goal is waved off immediately. As Matias Dalmonte isn't too pleased with Darius Maxey's little nudge into Jeremy Foreman.
Well, you know what they say. I said it yesterday, but if the ref calls it, then it happened, and the vice versa is true. If the ref doesn't call it, then it didn't happen. The ref didn't call a goal. It was no goal.
And, I mean, pretty interesting to look at the parallels between that, because he said that after Oliver Band's go-ahead goal, the second goal of the game for UNLV, and that would have been Jamestown's second goal of the game on the same end of the ice, AJ. Wow. This time it gets immediately waved off to the protest of Jamestown. So that sign underneath the scoreboard at City National Arena not giving the Jimmies the best luck, if you will.
Didn't even put that together, but really interesting parallel.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, if that's applicable to this scenario. I don't think it is. Just wanted to sound smart.
It's applicable in some scenarios.
As we have stoppage of play once more, 1:59 to go. Faceoff's going to be out to the left of Brandon Weir. Going over the goal scorers briefly, Mario Decapite opened up the scoring earlier on in this frame. Put Jamestown up 1-0, and then Parker Williams tied the game up. Heath Mensch, the man who just tried to get a shot on goal, put UNLV up 2-1, and he tipped that one on net as well. Stathopoulos plays it down low. Oliver Band on the tape for Mensch. Mensch from the half wall up top. Kerriman. Shot gets knocked down by Klein, and he plays it out. Kerriman stops it up and chips it right back in to lay it offsides. UNLV tags up. Now 90 seconds to go in the first period. Dylan Ford retrieves the puck below the goal line. Gets bumped. Now here's Kerriman. Reverses ice. For Stathopoulos. Band at the red line, stops up, sends it cross corner. Now here's Wyatt Johnson, DDD for Volcano. Under pressure from Rand. Volcano gets sent to the ice by Rand. And Jamestown ices the puck with 58.4 remaining on the clock. Another offensive zone draw for the Jimmies. And AJ, the Jimmies haven't looked great on the breakout here lately. Much like last night, they started out pretty tight, getting the puck up the ice and turned up north. And now as the period kind of wore on, not looking too great, trying to get out of their own zone.
Well, now that you see it a second time, you can see it better, and it really was just those first 5 or so minutes for Jamestown where they looked unstoppable on offense, getting all kind of offensive zone time, getting good shots tonight too, but just like last night, it's not really a full period of work, of effort from them that their coach has wanted.
Icing's going to be waved off there, and that could be attributed at least with UNLV as well, being able to control the pace of play, winning faceoffs, especially in your defensive zone, and also just quick ups in your own end. And there's a quick up there. The help of the speed of Tristan Rand gains the zone on the left wing, but loses the puck at the blue line. 30 seconds remain now. Nagra tipped in by Rand. He'll give chase, beats Wyatt Johnson to the puck. Johnson ties up Rand. Christensen comes in to support. Puck finds its way to Thomas. Sent back in, sticked away. And stick to the high glass by Weir. Thomas can't play it through Jensen. He finds his way to the blue line and chipped off the wall by Carter Johnson. Under 10 to go now in the first period. And now the final 5 seconds. It's going to be Jackson Wyatt finding Caleb Strong. Strong rink wide. Rand has it go under his stick. Rand looked like he wanted to load up and shoot that from the red line as time expired. But through 20, UNLV up 2-1.
Well, if you want to bring up the more things change, the more they stay the same. Very similar first period for UNLV. They're up 2-1 this time instead of 1-1, but it's still top 5 ACHA Division I hockey, and we still got a whole another 2 periods, so stick with us.
was a very fast-paced first period for UNLV and Jamestown. Compared to last night's game, you can already tell the difference in the physicality, the fast-pacedness, and just the energy here tonight in the crowd. You can tell that Jamestown came in ready to do more and be more prepared, as UNLV is as well. Now let's take it back over to Kyle.
I'm here with forward Parker Williams. Parker, what did you see on that goal?
He's a good goalie. There's not a lot of places you can score on him, but he's tall, so you got to make him work hard. And that's kind of what I saw. Just low, hard reaches, hard to area to reach, and he just wasn't there. So,
what are some things that your team is doing good throughout this first period?
I think we could clean up a little bit in the D zone, but I think we're a bit more composed than we were last night. I thought that they were forechecking pretty hard on us last night, but getting that goal kind of slowed things down after they got one early, same as last night, and it's going to be similar as last night, so we'll see.
And any more adjustments going into the second?
Like I said, just clean up the D zone, work on the breakout, and we should be in theirs on the rest of the game. So,
thank you. Send it back over to you guys, Dom and AJ.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Zoe. And if you stuck around through the intermission, thanks for sticking around. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining us here tonight on a Saturday night. Jamestown and UNLV through 20 minutes. The Skating Rebels lead 2-1. One power play goal on the night. Heath Mensch giving UNLV the go-ahead goal. Kyle Sparrow speaking with the guy who opened up the scoring for UNLV at the intermission. Parker Williams, Mario DeCapite opening up the scoring early in the first period for Jamestown. So in this middle frame, some keys. Jamestown stay physical. UNLV, keep forechecking.
Keep forechecking indeed. And talking a little more to Mr. Sparrow in the intermission, put a lot of credit to Heath Mensch on the Parker Williams goal on the forecheck. Him forechecking hard, getting in there, getting dirty, leading to the Parker Williams goal that tied the game up.
Forecheck, back check, paycheck.
That's what they say.
Popular term going around in the hockey world as of late. And we're back underway in the second period. UNLV and Jamestown, two top 5 programs in the country. UNLV early zone time. Brodziak shoots, pad save made by Weir. Now here's Carollo at the point. Joey Carollo flicks that one into the corner. Now forward whacks that one, doesn't make it on net. Now Brodziak steers it down low. Gallant forecheck in there. Bit of a mess along the wall. Carollo shoots off the cuff of the trapper of Weir. And Brad Fortin dumps it in and gets changed. Dumping attempt hits Carter Johnson. Bit of friendly fire. UNLV getting some fresh legs on. And a 2-on-1 for the Jimmies. Here's Christensen. Centering try for Johnson. Couldn't get it on the backhand. Tristan Rand picks that one through traffic. Now here's Caleb Strong moving on in. Strong drops it off to Almonte. He pumps, shoots one. Pad save, rebound chance. Loose out in front. Everyone jamming at it. They score. Go to the net and good things happen. Caleb Strong leading the fly-by line for the UNLV bench, not scoring in garbage time. 3-1 UNLV.
I was just going to bring that up.
Talked to him after the game last night, and he said, well, no offense taken, because that goal was a garbage goal. So, good sport about it.
Came out today and scored one in good time, we would say. 3-1 now. C.S. Dalmonte putting it on net, leaving it for one of the Skating Rebels over there. Caleb Strong, the one who pokes it in.
And once again, no protest this time from the Jimmies underneath the scoreboard. Similar to that man's goal, 34 in black, Oliver Band, last night. A mess out in front of Brandon Weir, and Skating Rebels find it and put it home. Caleb Strong officially credited with the goal. Tristan ran with the primary assist. As Klein skies that shot from in tight over the crossbar. Now Stathopoulos pulls up. It's bumped by Klein, shakes off that hit. Puck finds its way to Kyle Quinn. Quinn moving on in, centering try. Doesn't make it to a Rebel stick out in front. This Parker Williams is now directing traffic. Now Evan West at the blue line. He misplays the puck. And a hand pass. So faceoff's going to come just outside of the Jamestown zone. Williams loses that draw cleanly to Chase Visser. Now Hayden Siegel plays that one off the glass and to the red line. He picks off that play. Volcano from his knees makes a play on the puck and gets it further up north. And a bit of a mess in the neutral zone now for both teams. Wide off the kick plate. Nobody home there, and then that gets wired off the glass, and a diving Kyle Quinn knifes it up for Evan Westview. Sends it into the zone and gets changed up. And another neutral zone turnover. Neither team can really get anything going through no man's land. The puck squirts out to the center. Here's Maxey, shoots one, tipped away by Fortin. Good chance for Darius Maxey. Ford tries to go for a skate down low, doesn't get there. Now Sean Karaman back to recover the loose puck. Scoops it on his backhand up ice. Brodziak knifes it through. Brodziak knifes that clearance attempt down, spins one to the goal mouth, tipped wide. Bradley Gallant hops on it. Now Brad Fortin on the half wall, skies that one to the blue line, settled down by Preston Brodziak. Leaves it on for Ford. Touch pass up ice. Delayed icing. And Jamestown wins the icing race. Bradley Gallant loses it a photo finish.
Not a lot of good neutral zone action there from either team. Really just a whole lot of turnovers, dump and chase that we saw from the media timeout in the first period. But Maxey had a great chance coming off the neutral zone, off the rebound. Just couldn't handle the puck initially, and that mishandle led to a shot not on goal.
And Darius Maxey, that split second that you mentioned, having to kind of settle down the puck, corral it, and load up to shoot. Possibly costing him a shot on goal. Now here's Christensen down low, feeds to the goal mouth, sticked away by Foreman. Carter Johnson, two hands Matias Dalmonte, and delayed penalty upcoming on the Jimmies. And Carter Johnson, a man who's been mixing it up all weekend long, and the official pretty upset with him at that one. Slashing's going to be the call. That happened right in front of us, AJ. Clear as day in front of the official as well. And not what you want to do if you're Jamestown. And Dean Stork last night praising 5-on-5 hockey. If I'm Carter Johnson, I'm expecting an earful when I get back to the bench after this penalty is up.
Oh, 100%. Just a unnecessary whack to the calves or the hamstrings there. A good 3 or 4 seconds after he passed the puck. Just completely unnecessary.
Even if you had the puck, that'd be a penalty. Here's Mensch, shoots one off the blocker. Heath Mensch looking for another power play goal. Rink-wide feed, couldn't get to Caleb Strong. Strong with the latest goal in this game, giving UNLV the 3-1 lead now from the goal line. Centering try for Stathopoulos, and his shot goes off the pad. And Jamestown clears the zone. 30 seconds gone to the power play. Heath Mensch picks up the drop off from Jackson Wyatt, and Mensch catches an edge and falls over. Jamestown clears again. Now Bradley Gallant winding it up for the Rebels. On the tape for Brodziak, onside, whacks one on into the chest of Weir. They'll hold for a whistle. 59 seconds remain on the Carter Johnson slashing minor.
And just a reminder, 21 Tristan Rand for the Rebels. He's the leading power play scorer with 4. Right behind him, Heath Mensch added to his total with 3. And Preston Brodziak, number 25, at 2. Players to keep an eye on for the power play. But as we mentioned, UNLV, very, very deep team, so really anyone can get going on the power play.
There are about 6 or 7 players, speaking of that depth, tied for 6th on the team in goal scoring, all with 3. Now here's Brodziak. On the half wall, drops it off for Gallant. Sauce it up. Nagra. Back down low. Brodziak now for Wyatt. Nagra at the half wall. Back down low for Cole Wyatt. From the goal line. Up top, Dalmonte shoots one off the post. Dalmonte looking to go high glove on Brandon Weir. Doesn't beat the iron. 5 seconds to go on the power play for the Rebels with a handful of opportunities. Jamestown back to full strength. They escape this PK without a goal against. UNLV still in the offensive zone. That's Jackson Wyatt. Reversing it. Now Gallant to the open ice for Brodziak, who gets spun down. And the puck finds its way down 200 feet for an icing.
UNLV with a lot of good looks on that power play. Matias Dalmonte with the last one going top right, just missed. Hit the iron. Some great passing from the Rebels on the power play, and you can tell their systems are just, they're in a great rhythm right now, this period starting out. And Jamestown just reeling, it seems like, not finding a way to get the feet under them.
Jamestown just looking for anything to be able to get this game going for them, and a lot of 200-foot clears. And attempts at just trying to get a long flip. Parker Williams sends it into the zone. Hayden Siegel sidesteps that one, directed back down low. Williams with a shot from an odd angle. It doesn't make it on net.
There's the earful.
And
Carter Williams.
Dean Stork giving his squad an earful. No more. Stay out of the box, he said. And forward with a drive from the point. Save made Brandon Weir. Dean Stork not too pleased with his team right now. And it looks like the direction he was yelling in, AJ, was in the direction of Carter Johnson or even Cole Christensen.
Yeah, they both came to the bench and got the earful, but we're not surprised from yesterday's expletives that, you know, he's going to give his team an earful.
And even if you don't get scored on a power play and you kill the penalty, it tires your guys out, especially if you're facing a power play like UNLV that's able to set it up in the zone and really snap the puck around. Have a lot of accurate passes in zone time. Similar to what they got going on now. Carollo does lose the puck, though, pickpocketed by Fortin. Rink wide feed off the stick of Maxey, who sends Dylan Ford almost head first into the wall. No penalty. Ford wanted one. Ford without a stick. Gets a stick from Tristan Rand. Fortin has that puck go through his wickets. Fed down low, tipped away by Jensen. Jensen sends Fortin to the wall and down to the ice. Tristan Rand with a collision with Pooley, and now here's Jensen. Pulls up. Jensen tried to get it to Strong, rink wide. Hopped off of his stick. Now here's Keaton Klein, dances around Nagra, gets canceled out, and Dalmonte's there. Dalmonte harassed by Klein. Tied up. Dalmonte from a knee, plays it up on the tape for Gallant. Give and go with Brodziak to the wing for Siegel, and offsides. A little questionable on that one. And obviously we're behind the play, but that looks pretty on from my vantage point.
Might have been a touch or a hair offsides.
Looks like it.
But, you know, going back to the unnecessary penalties, it's really, you know, it's 2 minutes that you're surrendering of offense's own time if you don't get a shorthanded look.
Essentially. Hayden Siegel drives the net, puts one on, loose puck out in front, and the puck finds its way out to the half wall. It looks like about half the people on the ice looked like the puck was in front of Brandon Weir or under him somewhere, including myself.
Including me, too, and then you see the puck bounce out. Maybe the refs did, too.
So, quick whistle on that one. 10.5 minutes remain in the second period, nearing the halfway point of this game. Still 3-1 in favor of UNLV. As Foreman fields that fluttering puck, and that was Jacob Thomas losing an edge. And going into the end wall, Jacob Thomas tattooing Matias Dalmonte well after the puck was away, and Carter Johnson being talked to by the aforementioned Dalmonte. Thomas serving a 5-minute major towards the end of the game last night. This puck goes into the netting once again.
We'll do it all again.
Face off in the same spot. Baraneski shakes away from Kyle Quinn, gets pickpocketed by Quinn with the help of Brodziak. Now here's Galan on the right side. He sends it in. Chipped off the wall and played to the open ice. Sent off the wall by Jamestown, and now here comes Baraneski on the left wing to the center out of the reach of Capite. Baraneski finds it again and gets bumped off the puck by Brodziak. And Bradley Gallant gets high-sticked by Klein almost, and Klein trying to slash him once more. Lots of extra stick work from the Jimmies. Now down low. Everyone tied up. The official telling everyone to use your feet. There's not going to be a whistle. Now here's Malachi Franklin up top. Canceled out by Evan West. Up top for Franklin. 9 minutes to go. Franklin shoots. He scores. Malachi Franklin inserted into the lineup tonight. Seeing eye shot from the point draws Jamestown to within one.
Yeah, funky possession there from Jamestown. I don't know what was going on behind the net. Ref had to come in and yell at the players to get it going. But Malachi Franklin, the extra skater today for Jamestown, coming in, finding the top cheddar, if you will, top shelf of the net, and bringing Jamestown to within one and stopping the bleeding, and finally answering the 3 goals that UNLV put up.
And just the way that Foreman lurched at that puck, it didn't look like he saw it all the way through to the net. And a big-time hit at the bench. That was the captains coming together, Matias Salmonte and nailing Brad Fortin. As we have a stoppage of play, and we hit our second media timeout of the night. 8:47 remaining. Malachi Franklin, the latest goal scorer for the game as a whole, bringing Jamestown to within one.
And that's how you get extra minutes if you're the extra skater. Come out there, skate hard, play hard, find the back of the net.
Exactly, a big goal. Taking a look once again at the upcoming schedule for UNLV, Missouri State next weekend, San Diego State, Midnight Madness, and a regular 7:30 puck drop here at City National Arena, and then once again on the road in Utah, Salt Lake City Sports Complex against the Utes to round out the season series against that team, another WCHL opponent. Before a road-heavy February, this team won't be at home once the entire month of February. After the San Diego State weekend, there will be one home weekend that remains, Arizona State on March 7th and 8th.
You know, I'm curious what that Utah power play numbers are looking like, because when they came here back in October, they were hitting at almost 60%, and they had a lot of opportunities. So just absurd numbers from them. So I wonder if they've come back down to earth, or they're still hitting at a high average. We'll put one of our interns on it.
So Kyle Sparrow on that task to find Utah's power play numbers for the season since last time UNLV saw them, and Matias Del Monte gets sent into the net by Darius Maxey. So Matias Del Monte with a big target on his back really all weekend long, getting slashed by Carter Johnson, hit into the net by Darius Maxey, hit high and late by Jacob Thomas last night. So Del Monte, big target for Jamestown, and just a big man in general, 6'4", 209 pounds. Just pure man. Now here's Heath Mensch, rink-wide feed intended for Quinn, gets knifed away, and Quinn sends it back into the zone. Now Mensch feeds it to the slot out in front of the net. That was Wyatt Johnson. Would give any goalie a heart attack, taking it right in front of the crease like that with 4 checkers in front of you. And fed out in front, Carter Johnson from his knees plays one on and doesn't get all of it. Just goes straight into the pads. And we got a bit of extracurriculars.
Hey, how you doing?
Quinn. Yeah, a bit of, hey, how you doing?
It's always Kyle Quinn in there, isn't it?
Kyle Quinn. And Jacob Thomas introducing himself again, talking to Oliver Band. Oliver Band was the first man to Jacob Thomas last night. Kyle Quinn not afraid to go to battle with anybody. If you've watched our pregame open or if you watched the Oregon series from last year, that same corner, he was going berserk on a few Ducks players. And Oliver Band, as I said, was the first man to respond to Jacob Thomas after that high and late hit on the captain, Del Monte. Here's the captain, shoots one. Blocker save made by Foreman. Played off the wall by Gallant for Brodziak, and Brodziak, headman in this rush, cuts outside the left wing, dances to the slot. Brodziak moving on in, puts one on net, loose puck out in front. He gets directed to the high glass off the linesman, steered back into the zone by Nagra. Brodziak with a great individual effort on the tape. Keaton Klein swung out for Baraneski, shooting one into the glove of Foreman for a whistle. And AJ, this top line, if you want to call it that, the top line from last night, listed as the third line tonight. Jordan Baraneski, Keaton Klein, and Mario DeCapite. They're clicking.
They're clicking. They're finally getting things going, finally finding some kind of rhythm. They've been missing all weekend, it seems like, finally finding it. It starts off with getting one, stopping the bleeding, 3 goals straight. And then you find one go in the back of the net, and you get some confidence going.
And this is the same group for Jamestown that was out there the last time they scored. Malachi Franklin back there, drawing Jamestown within 1. And Franklin's looking to start it out. Now in deep. They're strong now at the half wall off a kick plate for Quinn. Quinn, his shot doesn't make it on net. Lassard just chips it in. Heath Mensch couldn't get a stick on Kerriman's breakout pass, and now at the blue line, Jamestown tags up. Maxey tries to center it. Goes off the skate of Dylan Jensen. Now up top, Pooley. Erichuk, return for Pooley. Pooley tees one up, shoots one softly off the stick of Foreman. And now Mensch. Mensch gets it chopped away on net. And that's exactly why earlier, AJ, I said that would give any goaltender a heart attack that was watching the game when Jamestown brought it right in front of their net. Heath Mensch doing the same thing. The puck gets chopped off his net, and Foreman has to drop it to the butterfly quick to prevent that from going in and tying this hockey game up.
Well, just if you're on offense, good things happen when you get the puck to the net. If you're on defense, bad things happen when the puck gets to the net. So,
Rare mental mistake from Heath Mensch there. Here's Thomas. Feeds one off the side of the net. Everyone hacking at it, and they run Jeremy Foreman. And we have sticks and gloves coming up, and Jamestown thinks they scored. Jeremy Foreman got bowled over into the nets. And Carter Christensen leading the flyby. Jeremy Foreman talking to the official. The puck wasn't in the net when the whistle blew. Brendan Volcano talking to the official. Jeremy Foreman doesn't look too happy. And we're going to wait the signal. Brad Fortin coming to talk to the official at center ice. So it looks like Christensen led a flyby for no reason. Dean Stork and company getting a explanation. The face-off set up outside the zone for now, and it looks like it's going to stay. No goal was the call. So Jamestown's starting to turn it up. Dean Stork starting to rally his men still. Inspiring his guys from behind the bench, and Dalmonte gets hit by Baraneski. There's that deadly line. Decapite, Klein, and Baraneski out there for Jamestown as UNLV ices the puck and gives the Jimmies an offensive zone draw, and can kind of feel the momentum shifting a bit. Jamestown's starting to turn it up.
Yeah, you can. The confidence is coming back for Jamestown and the Jimmies, and I don't even know what happened there on that no-goal call. I feel like Jeremy just got pushed in the net, and then his body was all the way in the net. It looked like they had a goal, but the ref making the call, blowing the whistle before it crossed the line. So kudos to the ref there, I guess.
And you can't
Making a tough call.
You can't really, if the puck is underneath the goalie, you can't push the goalie into the net with the puck and expect a good goal. As Fortin gets cross-checked by Nagra. Into the boards, we play on, no call. There is a call there. And, yep, that'll be Devin Nagra going for a cross-check. So the arm was raised on the backside official. Didn't see the front-end official with his arm raised. So 4:46 remaining in the second period. And Jamestown with a heap and loads of momentum. They're going on the power play.
Yeah, while we're on the subject of power play, we have the Utah power play numbers, and they're still hitting at 50%.
It's ridiculous. Best power play marks by about 22.5% over Grand Canyon University. UNLV just the fifth best power play in the division. The Rebels clicking at 25% even. Their PK, though, 84%. Being put to the test here now.
And we'll see with this Jamestown with renewed confidence on offense at the end of this period, see what they can put together on the power play that has really not been there this series so far this weekend.
With the newfound momentum, they might be able to make something happen here. They're going to try, and they'll have to try again. They're offsides. This is the same line or similar line that was out there. Christensen, who thought he scored. Looking over to the Jamestown bench, Dean Stork talking to Christensen and making a pinching gesture, essentially saying we're this close. So the Jamestown Jimmies feeling it. That shot is tipped just wide. That was Carter Johnson from above the right wing face-off circle, letting that one go. Here's Baroneski up top. Pooley tried to get it to Fortin, gets cut off by Preston Brodziak, and here comes Brodziak, 2-on-1. Brodziak drives the net, tries to feed it back post for Gallant, and gets behind him. Brodziak recovers his own loose puck and plays it back for Quinn, who sends it to Dalmonte, and that goes down 200 feet. Full sail changes for the UNLV PK unit. About 35 seconds to go on the penalty kill for the Rebels. Here comes Darius Maxey on the left wing. Chases that puck deep. Gets met by Dylan Jensen. Maxey recovers under pressure from Carollo. Gets support. Now up top, Volcano. Volcano shoots one through traffic. Tipped to the high glass. Looks like it went through a double screen of McDonald and Maxey. Now under 10 seconds to go on the penalty kill for the Jimmies. Played up ice on the backhand for Christensen. He skates around Quinn. Christensen feeds it to the slot. Tips way up into the netting. UNLV escapes that penalty kill with a handful of chances against.
Probably their best power play so far for Jamestown. Got a lot of good opportunities, but still let up a really good short-handed opportunity for UNLV. Preston Brodziak looking for Bradley Gallant, the unselfish play. Couldn't find him, but still getting opportunities. Now UNLV back to full strength. We'll see if they can capture some of this momentum back their way.
2:33 to go. UNLV got to make some sort of change here to be able to turn things around.
It feels like they're just trying to get to the third period. It's how it's felt like the last 5 or so minutes. But there's still a lot of second period left is the problem with that.
Plenty of time for Jamestown to get a chance and possibly tie this game up. They try and keep the zone. Now band on the tape. Stathopoulos gains a zone. Now here's Mensch from the dot. Centering try. Stathopoulos' shot is directed aside. Now Stathopoulos from the hash marks up top. Quinn, D to D, Karaman. Down low, Mensch. Mensch and Karaman swap places. Down low now, Stathopoulos, who gets hit way up high, and Mensch comes to his assistance, and Malachi Franklin comes right back at him. Malachi Franklin went high on Stathopoulos. Right in front of the official, no call. And Stathopoulos shoved away by Keaton Klein. Stathopoulos talking to the official about it. His helmet comes unbuckled, and now everyone talking to the official and being like, hey, what gives?
Let's have a little chat, shall we?
Nonetheless, we're going to play on. Minute 49 to go. Face-off out to the right of Brandon Weir. Face-off one. Rand shoots one right into the chest of Weir for a quick whistle. And still a bit testy after the whistle.
Still feels like we're waiting to hear from the top point getter from Jamestown, Brad Fortin, this weekend. We haven't really called his name too many times on goals or assists. And they just had the one goal last night, but the two so far tonight. I don't think he's been involved on either of those.
We'll double check that for you at the break. It's coming up in about 90 seconds. Dalmonte with a big hit, and he's going to go for a penalty. Maxey shoots one into the chest. And Matias Dalmonte, the captain, going to be going for roughing, going high to finish off a hit. And once again, another power play upcoming for the Jimmies here. With a minute 20 to go, it's not what you want to do as a captain. Another parallel to Brad Fortin taking a penalty at a pretty inopportune time last night.
Yeah, and the Jamestown power play feels like they're finally coming together as a unit. So we'll see what they can do here. They only have a minute 20 in this period, but if they don't get one, they'll have 40 seconds in the final frame to get something in.
Kick save by Foreman. Now swung up, Christensen up top now. Arichuk's shot is blocked by Brodziak, who breaks a stick, and Christensen feeds to the goal mouth. Loose puck couldn't be settled down by Visser. Under a minute to go now in the second period. Visser catches it at the faceoff dot up top Volcano. D for Arichuk. Arichuk shoots one through traffic, knocked down in front, loose puck directed to the corner. 40 seconds to go. Volcano, time and space, shoots one, blocked by Carollo, directed up into the high glass. And Carollo sacrificing the body, 37.8 to go.
And the Jamestown power play unit is buzzing, to say the least. And, you know, taking a look at some of their top scorers, just like UNLV, number 21 for them, Jordan Baronski, he's their leading power play scorer with 5. Darius Maxey after that with 4, and then Carter Johnson with 3.
Now 30 to go. Here's Fortin. Moving on in, shoots one, tipped up off the pad. Stathopoulos takes a spill, swung up top by Baraneski. And a slap shot, kick save, loose puck, they score, no goal. Immediately waved off. In Jamestown, another goal is waved off. And the Jamestown faithful that made the trip out to Las Vegas is upset, but UNLV, their fans, pretty happy. Not sure why that goal got called off there. Looks like Jamestown player was in the crease. And Dean Stork is incensed with 17.5 seconds to go. He's getting the explanation now.
Yeah, another goal. That's 3 this weekend that have been called off for Jamestown. And
2
that
tonight.
one, yeah, 2 tonight. If both those go,
Jamestown's up 4-3.
look, yeah, 4-3 game. Even if that one goes, it's 3-3. Completely different game. The Jamestown power play unit playing so well right now. Had a great opportunity, but as you said, in the crease, can't get out of their own way, it feels.
And I mean, it's pretty avoidable stuff being in the crease. I mean, I get you're hungry, but that's going to get waved off all day. And then bowling over the goalie, that's going to get waved off too. There's Preston Brodziak, fresh piece of lumber, centering try, Gallant shoots, pad save by Brandon Ware. And the horn sounds, and Preston Brodziak draws the ire of a couple of Jimmies. What a chance for Bradley Gallant. Bradley Gallant stuffed on the breakaway.
Similar stuff to that last power play for Jamestown, where Brodziak had the break and went to Bradley Gallant. But Jamestown, they'll have 40 seconds of power play in the third frame. We thought this one was going to get away from them too, but Malachi Franklin brings it to within 1, the extra skater for Jamestown. But we got a whole another 20 minutes of UNLV hockey coming up here at City National. Don't go anywhere.
Just ending that second period off with UNLV 3-2 to Jamestown. Jamestown is live tonight, but unfortunately they had 2 goals discontinued. They're really needing to get out of their own web for the rest of this game. Let's get it over to you, Kyle.
I'm here with forward number 37, Cole Wyatt. Cole, Jamestown, 2 waved off goals. What can you try and do to minimize those scoring chances?
Yeah, we just got to clean it up a little bit. You know, we're seeing a quicker Jamestown today. We just got to work harder in front of our net and just make simple plays here.
What are some things that you like about your team going into this third period?
Yeah, I thought we simplified a little bit more, but we still have a little bit more room to improve. We just got to keep getting pucks to the net, and it's going to be a gritty third period here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we'll send it over to you, Dom and AJ.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you, Zoe, and thank you to the viewers, whether you're just joining us or you stuck through all 40 minutes. It's been a fun one if you stuck through all 40 minutes with us so far. UNLV leading 3-2 through 40 minutes. UNLV 1 for 2 on the power play. Jamestown 0 for 2, but they have 40 seconds of carryover power play time heading into this third period. So, some keys for this third period. Jamestown keeps shooting through traffic, even finding a lot of success going through double screens, triple screens with messes out in front of Jeremy Foreman. UNLV, you got to clean it up. Shots are tight. Game is tight. Can't really make any mistakes.
Clean it up and go back to what was working for you in the first period and the beginning of that second period. It feels like, though, Jamestown, they made the right adjustment. They found a way to clamp it up, clamp it down. This UNLV offense was really buzzing in the first period, and through 5 to 10 minutes in that second period, and then Jamestown found a way. Malachi Franklin breaks through for them, stops the bleeding. The three goals unanswered for UNLV. The Jimmies find an answer, and now it looks like they've got all the momentum. They got 40 seconds of power play left.
And it's a
from
power
the Del
play
Monte penalty.
Indeed, it's a bit of power play that's been clicking so far tonight. They've been getting a lot of scoring chances. They've been getting a lot of shots on goal. So 20 minutes or more. Left here at City National Arena.
Give a shout out to the Jamestown faithful that made it.
They got signs
They got
and everything.
signs.
Here we go. UNLV, 40 seconds of penalty kill time. Christensen digs in opposite of Preston Brodziak, and we're back underway for this third period of play. It's been a fun 40 minutes. We're looking for another fun 20. UNLV's 15-game winning streak on the line here. An early clear for UNLV. Here's Preston Brodziak. In alone, moving it in. Shoot, save made. Brandon Ware. Preston Brodziak, a short-handed chance on a breakaway.
That is 3 for Preston Brodziak tonight, short-handed. Had the one in the second period. He tried to hit Gallant. Didn't hit him. Then he had one where he did hit Gallant. Now this one, he's going to find a way sooner or later, it seems.
Yeah, he seems pretty dialed in. Seems like he's feeling it tonight. Brodziak stuffed, trying to go 5-hole on Weir. Brandon Weir also stopping the follow-up attempts on that shot. UNLV back to full strength. So the opening 40 seconds of this period has been all UNLV. The latter 40 seconds of the Jamestown power play, nothing going for him. Caleb Strong to Quinn. Offsides. Looked like it was Dylan Jensen. A little too eager.
Yeah, and you go back to the 40 seconds that Jamestown had, and I don't think they got a single shot. And if they did, it was only one.
They did not get a single shot on goal.
UNLV had the best chance, 2 chances from Preston Brodziak. Kind of what we were seeing in the first period and the beginning part of that second period, lackluster at the end of that 40 seconds.
So now Jamestown back at even strength, trying to find their feet in this third period. UNLV came out swinging, in the opening minute and a half of this third frame. Briefly going over the goal scorers tonight for Jamestown as the icing's waved off. That man with the puck, 29 to white, Mario Decapite, opened up the scoring for Jamestown, scored the first goal of the game, put him up 1-0. Jimmies haven't led since. The Malachi Franklin, as AJ mentioned at the top of the period, brought Jamestown to within 1. Heath Mensch with a goal tonight. Parker Williams tied the game up earlier. Now UNLV with a 3-2 lead, 17:55 on the clock. They've officially hit the 30-shot mark. But AJ, the shots much tighter than they were last night. UNLV nearly double out shooting Jamestown, and now Jamestown just down by 3 shots in that department.
The score really reflects that, the way this offense has played tonight compared to last night, night and day.
Jamestown playing UNLV much tighter. So here's Oliver Band in the zone, centering pass from Mensch, shooting one through traffic into the chests of Weir. And Christensen and Band having a nice little chat.
Well, I'd be curious to know what...
And Oliver Band laughing, and he runs into Brad Fortin, and Oliver Band's stick snaps as he was having a nice little yuck to himself. And Wyatt Johnson's yucking it up at him as Band skates away. So pretty funny moment there. I gotta say that was kind of funny with Oliver Band having a laugh and then he skates into somebody and breaks his stick in 2.
It's gonna be devastating because those sticks are expensive from what I hear.
No, those are about $270 to $370 bucks.
$270 laugh it off moment, I guess.
As Nagra puts a shot off of the trapper of Weir, he finds it and holds for a whistle.
Well, what I was gonna say before that happened is I wonder what Dean Stork has to say about his goaltender's performance tonight, because last night he said really no one really had a great game. He was just okay, and really feels like Brandon Weir is having a great game tonight.
He is having a great game. He's making a lot of key saves, and going back to that save earlier on, lurching post to post to make a pad stop. So a lot of what ifs in this game. What if the 2 goals Jamestown got called back counted? What if one of the 2 goals counted? What if Weir didn't make that pad stop early in the game? We play on. Bradley Gallant up top. Carollo, he pumps, shoots, and blocked in front by the 2 opposite him, Wyatt Johnson. Cole Wyatt leaving the ice, labored. So Wyatt appears to be a bit shaken up. Now here's Evan West. West loses the puck. Parker Williams loses his stick. Delayed penalty, and slashing is going to be the call on the Jimmies. So UNLV going to the power play. 3.5 minutes into this third period. It's going to be Keaton Klein, the lone goal scorer for Jamestown last night.
Well, it feels like we're seeing a lot of sticks hit the ice out of the hands of players tonight. Just what I've noticed. More than usual.
Lots of stick work. So UNLV begins the power play. Up top, there's Nagra. Dalmonte returns that pass to Nagra. Pitch and catch between the 2 D-men at the blue line. Down low to the goal line for Brodziak. He moves in, shoots one, save made. Loose puck out in front. Karaman can't settle it down. It's underneath Karaman. Settled down again by Brodziak, who airmails that puck over the crossbar. Settled down now in the skates of Karaman. He has it. Touched on Dalmonte. Swung over. Nagra shoots one. Stick to side. Loose puck steered up top to the point. Dalmonte again. Up now Nagra. Pitch and catch between Dalmonte and Nagra. Now at the hash mark, Brodziak. Brodziak spins away from Lassard. Moving on in. Brodziak below the goal line now. Up top, Dalmonte with a drive. He scores! Matias Dalmonte, the captain, gives UNLV the insurance marker on the power play.
And Preston Brodziak, a lot of the effort there. Feels like he's been all over the place on special teams. Penalty kill to start off. Now on the power play, a great pass to Dalmonte, and he goes top shelf and gives the Rebels their 2-goal lead back.
And it wasn't even that bad of a penalty kill per se for Jamestown, but just a better possession for UNLV. Matias Dalmonte leading by example after having a hellish weekend, if you even want to say that, getting targeted by Jamestown all weekend, being on the receiving end of hit after hit and some extra slashes.
Well, you know what they say in basketball? Good defense, better offense.
Indeed. Defense does win championships at the end of the day.
Two-point game for Matias Dalmonte. Is on the assist on the Caleb Strong goal in the second period. Now gets the goal in the third period.
Dalmonte bouncing back from last night. There's Brad Fortin trying to score a similar goal. He was sitting in the faceoff circle and trying to get a one-timer from his knee himself. Didn't get it clean, and Foreman stopped it.
And, you know, we mentioned that we hadn't really called his name a whole lot in the score sheet, and it's because we haven't. He hasn't scored a single point this week. 33 points for him this season, and hasn't been able to get in the score sheet except for the penalty box minutes for Jamestown. So now what you want your top scorer doing, and your captain, to say the least. Yeah.
He's had support, though, from Klein to Capite and now Franklin. So he didn't have to do much this weekend, but tonight he might have to step up, excuse me. Foreman's going to hold for another whistle. That's Thomas out in front of the net again, not too happy with Kyle Quinn. Jacob Thomas has been the least favorite Jimmy's player for UNLV this weekend. I think we can safely say that.
I think it is safe to say.
Maybe Carter Johnson is a close second. Cole Christensen third. But Jacob Thomas has drawn the ire of a lot of UNLV players. As the Rebels keep the forecheck on, there's Jensen, loose puck out in front of Weir. Everyone falling over, bodies flying everywhere, a short whistle. That puck was loose right in front of Brandon Weir, and he was sprawled out. If anyone could have found it, that could have been another goal for UNLV. It's Caleb Strong, the first man in there. Strong returning from injury this weekend. He missed both NCAA Division I games in Colorado. He was injured against Arizona State.
2-goal weekend for him so far. One if you don't count garbage time.
At the end of the day, we do count garbage time. The 7th goal last night. Caleb Strong, 30-year player, played his junior hockey career with the Las Vegas Thunderbirds right here at City National Arena in the USPHL. The Thunderbirds now known as the Henderson Force. As Foreman makes another stop. And another shot from an odd angle, doesn't make it on net. Jamestown heavy on the forecheck. Played down low. There's Dylan Ford. Scoops it on the backhand and gloved out by Siegel. Caleb Percival canceled out by Williams. Now there's Malachi Franklin. He scored the last goal for Jamestown. And offsides is the call on the Jimmies. 13:08 remaining. Jamestown has just one shot on goal this period. UNLV with 8.
Whatever they found at the end of the second period, in the middle of that second period, it doesn't seem like it's carried over. And UNLV has adjusted, and we're back to how this game started out for both teams, where UNLV dominating the offensive zone, getting good looks, getting good zone time. And Jamestown, they're getting okay zone time, but not getting any shots on goal.
Jamestown needed to convert that zone time into shots. And here's Tristan Rand now, trying to dance through ACHA. Rand takes a spill, kept in the zone by Dalmonte. Here's Nagra at the circle. One-time drive from Strong, blocked by ACHA. What a save. And he snaps his stick in two. Strong moves in, shoots one, airmails it over the net. And Dalmonte whacks that one back up ice. And on the tape, Nagra for Rand, shoots one high and wide of the blocker. And Christensen picks it up in stride, but gets bumped off the puck. Now here comes Johnson, moving on in, feeds it to the slot, loose puck, gets whacked right back out of the zone. Down the length of the ice for an icing.
Man, great opportunity there for UNLV and great block. Jamestown laying the body to get in front of that one. It looked like a wide open net. Not sure if Weir would have made the save on that one had it got to him.
Brandon Weir trying to flag down the official. ACHA's broken stick is still on the ice. Now the linesman collects the broken piece of $300 hardware.
There go at least $600 this period, if you're counting.
That's excluding tax as well.
Oh, really?
It depends on the brand of stick, and each brand has different lines, and each line has different price points.
Well, you got to tape it up, too. That costs money.
Yeah.
If you run out of tape, you got to go and get more tape.
ACHA has spray paint at the top of his stick, it looks like, so that's a bit of extra money.
This could be a $400 piece of lumber.
Here's Heath Mensch moving in, tied up, couldn't center it, and Band goes sliding into the net, and Oliver Band gets speared in the face by Jacob Thomas, and Weir is talking to Band all the way through. Weir got hit by Band. He and Thomas went sliding into the net, and Mensch shot the puck after the whistle when the net was off, and Oliver Band gave a little whoop-de-woo and gets speared in the face for his efforts. And Band is barking the whole way with Christensen. So if Jacob Thomas doesn't have a penalty here, which it doesn't look like, it's absurd.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. He got hit in the neck, it looked like.
It looks like the chin.
Not-
Dalmonte's talking, and everyone's kind of standing around.
It's not really a comfortable place to get speared at.
Not at all.
Probably going to be
So
spitting out some blood on that one.
the official is pointing to his own face. Looks like he might be pointing out something, and it looks like 5 skaters will be staying on the ice here. So no penalty for Jacob Thomas spearing Oliver Band in the face. We'll play on. Here's Heath Mensch. Centering try. Pad save by Weir. What a stop. That was Justice Sathopoulos on the one-time drive from the slot. And now here comes Baranski. Save made. Baraneski. Wraparound chance. He scores. Jordan Baraneski, what an individual effort. He ties the game up for the Jimmies. And I guess the puck doesn't lie, but regardless, we have a tie game, but prior to that, you need to have Jacob Thomas, or excuse me, they draw within 1. But regardless, that goal might not be on the board. Jacob Thomas goes for a penalty, which very well could have been a major. Justice intent to injure. So 4-3 hockey game. Niagara shakes off pressure. Now here's Gallant moving on in. Gallant cuts to the slot. Dropped off. Niagara shoots and misses the net high and wide. And here comes an odd man rush for the Jimmies. A possible 2-on-0. Fortin moves in. Pad save made by Foreman. The Jimmies have life just over 9 minutes into the third. Now Niagara trying to settle things down. Gallant puts a move on in his own blue line, cuts back outside and gains the red line. Hooten sends it in. Now Jensen. Now there's Quinn. Spun back for Dylan Jensen. And Jensen puts one on net, steered aside by Weir. Played up top. Now Lassard. Lassard gets absolutely leveled by Tristan Rand at the blue line. And Carollo gets tattooed himself behind the net by Christensen. Physicality picking up on both sides. A big hit by Tristan Rand, who's never afraid to throw the body himself. And another big hit on Caleb Strong. Things are getting testy here in the final 10 minutes of this third period. And there's going to be a tripping penalty. Parker Williams gets tripped up trying to get a breakout going, or it's going to be a slashing call on Carter Johnson. So a huge power play for the Rebels coming up. The Jamestown bench is beside themselves. That is a penalty. So UNLV with a chance to get their insurance marker back. Niagara getting ready to wind this rush up for the Rebels. Canceled out by McDonald in the neutral zone. Now Gallant with speed gains his own. Out to the left wing for Brodziak with room. Rink wide feed settled down by White. Dalmonte with a drive. Glove save made by Weir. And Jamestown clears the zone.
A really good chance for UNLV there, but Weir, that's two big saves he's made. You know, the first one coming on the Justin Stathopoulos one-timer that ended up, ended up becoming the Baranowski goal, and then that one too. Huge glove save for the Jimmy netminder.
Under a minute to go on the power play for the Rebels. The Jamestown bench all standing up, kicking the boards and banging their stick on the boards to rally their teammates as there is almost a turnover in front. Heath Mensch recovers and he cuts to the center. Now to the wing, Stathopoulos. Now Strong on the hash marks up top. Mensch at the point. Mensch swung back over to Strong with time and space of the dot. Off the kick plate, Mensch overskates it, picked up by Rand in the open ice. About 20 seconds to go on the power play, dropped off. Strong touched on Carollo. Mensch at the top of the circle, shoots one, blocked up in the air. Settled down by Carollo at the point, about 10 seconds to go. Mensch in his skates, swings it out, and it gets picked off by Fortin, who sends it down the length of the ice. Lots of pats on the helmet from the coaching staff for the penalty killing unit who just got off, and the Jimmies are back to full strength.
Great penalty kill there from Jamestown, really silencing a power play, UNLV power play. They got one earlier, and it seemed like the offense was buzzing all around. Just couldn't.
Here's Gallant shooting one, misses the net wide. A good chance for UNLV there. Cole Wyatt tied up with Johnson. Now here comes Baroneski, the latest goal scorer for the Jimmies. And Baroneski gets hit hard by Cole Wyatt, and that's going to be a penalty. And hockey giveth, hockey taketh away. Once again, Cole Wyatt going for a roughing penalty with 6:52 to go. Now Jamestown trailing by a goal. They got an opportunity to tie it up.
And after a beautiful penalty kill like Jamestown just had, going on the power play is exactly what they wanted. This team has found new life in the third period. And in the intermission, I said I smell a whiff of overtime. 4-4, I was feeling.
Every UNLV parent just cringed that you said that. We'll see what happens here. Once again, Cole Wyatt, 2 for roughing. Jamestown on the power play. Looking to go to work. Dean Stork behind his bench, drawing up on the grease board with his next power play unit, trying to get something going for his team and tie this game up. Sathopoulos, the lone man, 1 black jersey against 4 white jerseys. Sathopoulos able to delay the Jamestown rush a little bit more. Already 30 seconds gone on this man advantage. Here's McDonald on his own blue line, crosses over the red, gains the zone, and floats it in to the corner. Dalmonte finds it, sends it up, stopped up by Fortin, who whacks it back deep. Dalmonte chops at it, settled down by Fortin up top. Now here's Volcano, shoots through traffic, blocker save, loose puck out in front. Can't be corralled, finally turned back on, loose still. Everyone whacking at it, Foreman sprawled out, loose at the doorstep. Foreman gets there and makes a pad save. Now Volcano now, a minute to go on the Cole Wyatt minor in the Jamestown power play. Volcano up top to the dot for Fortin, looking for his first point this weekend. And Dalmonte finds it and clears on net for Weir. Looking to get a quick up, but instead settles it down. Fresh power play unit coming on for the Jimmies, 40 seconds to go. Now here's Visser. He sends it in, Gallant hops on it, can't knife it out of the zone. Gallant finally gets a loose puck again, whacking at it. Gets played deep, there's Visser again in the corner. Gallant finds it, can't clear it. Settled down to the blue line by Volcano, who's been out there for some time. At the dot, a shot blocked out in front. Another blocked shot this game by Carollo, and the puck skips out of the zone. Under 15 to go now on the power play for the Jimmies. Volcano still out there at his own blue line, gains the red, drops it off. And now there's Keaton Klein gaining the zone. Penalty ending. Here's Gallant, touched on. Odd man rush for the Rebels. Brodziak and Gallant. Gallant moving on in, shoots one, misses the net, put back on an odd angle. Weir finds it and plays it back for Arichuk. And that was another good shorthanded chance as the penalty expired for Gallant and Brodziak, who have been everywhere on the penalty kill tonight.
Such an inopportune time to sub if you're Jamestown. When UNLV is on the rush. Such a great opportunity by Gallant, just couldn't get it. And how did Jamestown not score? In that mess in front of the net, it feels like they had so many chances.
Jamestown unable to find the back of the net on that power play, approaching the final 4 minutes of this game. Jamestown starting to creep back in the shots. UNLV hasn't had a shot on goal in some time. A shot from an odd angle from DeCapte. Doesn't make it on net. And here's Jensen trying to knife it into the zone. He gets stopped up. Klein gloves it down, can't get it out. And now here's Caleb Strong from the slot, moving on in, dips a shoulder, goes behind the net, centering try. No one home, settled down by Karaman. Karaman now, rink wide, Strong, time and space, shoots one, misses the net high and wide. Karaman whacks it back into the zone. No one home. Decapite plays it up for Johnson, who gains the red line, waits and sends it in. Dances around Dalmonte. Karaman's there, though. 3.5 minutes remain. Arichuk has that puck hop off the blade of his stick. He plays it over for Pooley. Pooley sends it over to Baroneski. Chips it in. And Joey Carollo with multiple block shots tonight gets it out of the zone. Arichuk at the red line. Flips it up. Bouncing puck in the corner. Whacked at by Carollo. Settled down in the skates of Stathopoulos. 3 minutes to go now. Now here's Visser looking for low goal line. Centering try on the wraparound. Everyone looking for it. And we have a whistle. That was Fortin, excuse me. Visser was the one out in front. Maxey gets sent to the ice by Heath Mensch. And while Brad Fortin hasn't scored a goal this weekend or even been on the score sheet, Fortin's been doubled over on the back end of the last few of these shifts, AJ, and where he hasn't been on the score sheet, he's been putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah, they had. I still don't know how they didn't get one on the power play there. Had so many good chances. Open net. Jeremy stood on his head though, making the save at the end to block it out, and then in that situation, being able to find the puck, force a face-off. Hats off to the Rebel netminder.
As we approach the final TV timeout of the period, or the final timeout period in this third period of play. Quickly taking a look at the upcoming schedule for one last time for UNLV. Missouri State next weekend on the road in Brightspeed Ice Park. Then San Diego State back here at City National Arena for the second and final Midnight Madness game of the season. And then Utah on the road to end out January and begin February. A long road trip of a month for the Skating Rebels as the season winds down. 2:58 remains in this third period. Jamestown looking to tie. Carter Johnson gets canceled out. Now there's Gallant. Brodziak cancels his man out. A shot from the half wall. Everyone whacking at it. Loose puck out in front. Found by Gallant. He gets bumped to the ice. And we have another delayed penalty upcoming on UNLV. It's going to be Devin Nagra going again, and it's touched up by Dalmonte, and it's going to be holding on Devin Nagra, so 2.5 minutes to go in the third period. Jamestown's going to go to the power play. Once again, Devin Nagra for a hold. This will take us virtually to the end of regulation if this power play goes all the way through the 2 minutes.
I think we might be seeing Brandon Weir be pulled here for the extra attacker to get 6 on 4 with only 2.5 minutes to go. If this does go the full length without a Jamestown goal, they'll have 30 seconds to try and get it on the board. Looks like one of their teams calling a timeout. I believe it was Jamestown. If it's anyone, it's Jamestown. Talk things over. Power play that has found new life, especially in that last one. They had a great chance that Jeremy Foreman was able to lock up and stop. And then, but, you know, for the most part, tonight it's been lackluster. They've had moments where they've looked good, but, you know, this consistency that matters tonight.
Definitely, but the consistency you point out, they've been looking great as of late. So they've put something together. They've found something here at City National Arena. Now after the timeout ends, a bumpy run to the finish. Devin Nagra once again going for a hold, so Jamestown going to the power play. And this might be a fun one.
This game's had everything, all the dramatics. Called off goals.
All the theatrics, all the physicality besides the fight. Now we got under 2.5 minutes left to decide this thing. That's Caleb Percival, who had man not rush. He's in deep against Joey Carollo. Approaching 2 minutes remaining in this third period of play. Brodziak hounding Fortin. Fortin spins it down low. Rink wide feed. Out of the reach of Carter Johnson, down low, spun to the back door, and they score! Jamestown ties the game up at 4 a pop, just 39 seconds into the power play. And some old ghosts rearing their ugly heads here at City National Arena. Discipline becoming a thorn in the side of the UNLV Skating Rebels.
Yeah, I got it down low, got it. Zane McDonald on the left side, open net, able to find the back of the net, and really quickly Jamestown just 20 seconds or so into that power play, finds the back of the net, equalizes the game at 4, and now we'll have a really dramatic finish for the last 2 minutes of this one.
Brand new hockey game. Jamestown hasn't led since the first few minutes of this game, and a Let's Go Jimmies chant for the Jamestown families that made the trip out to Las Vegas, erupting on our side of the broadcast. Now this game turns into a one-bounce game. Simple as that. Now here's Johnson. Lassard canceled out by Del Monte. Johnson pressed up against the wall by Jensen. Jensen couldn't find it. Now here's Rayan. 75 seconds to go. Play it off the wall. Now there's Quinn who sends it back in. Now here's Volcano. Christensen chips it into the zone. 1 minute remains in the third period of play here at City National Arena. Both teams tied at 4. Here's Erichuk. Pooley. Doesn't get tipped in by Christensen, but icing's waved off, and now here comes UNLV trying to get a rush going. It gets canceled out of the red line. Christensen sends it back in. No icing again. Approaching the final 30 seconds on the tape, Mensch. Mensch fans on his pass, gets cut off at the red line, and Maxey sends it back in. 30 seconds to go. Now 20 seconds, Kyle Quinn surveyed. And it's going to be Justin Stathopoulos winding up the rush. Brodziak whacks it into the zone off a leg. 15 to go. Heath Mensch gives chase. He gets tied up by Johnson. Volcano off the glass and out of the zone down the length of the ice. Dalmonte hustle play. Icing is called. The two captains, Fortin and Dalmonte, in a foot race. Advantage Dalmonte, 4.8 seconds to go. Offensive zone draw for the Rebels in a tie hockey game.
It's looking like one more play in regulation on this one. We'll see if they can get something off the draw, get a good look. Got time for a few passes before getting a shot, but gonna need to be quick.
Jamestown stacking the slot on this face-off. 3 guys in the slot trying to get a blocked shot. 4.8 to go. Brodziak and Visser do battle. Brodziak wins the draw. Gallant gets canceled out, and the zone gets cleared. What a play by Brendan Volcano. And we have overtime between 2 top teams in the nation on a Saturday night.
Well, what a response by Jamestown tonight. You know, they come into the game, got ran out of the building last night, 7 unanswered, lost 7-1. Come into the game tonight, get on the board first, then, you know, UNLV, they come back with 3 goals of their own, and it looked like we were in for the same show as last night. And Jamestown found a way. Malachi Franklin getting on the board, stopping the bleeding. It's a very important goal for them in that second period. It feels like a turning point for that offense.
It was.
Getting things going, putting it within 3-2. Dalmonte would get one on the power play, bring it back to 4, but Baraneski and Zane McDonald, the 2 goal
heroes.
scorers for Jamestown tonight, sending this one into overtime. It's my first overtime game on commentary for UNLV.
So, quick reminder of the overtime rules. 3-on-3, sudden death for 5 minutes. Jamestown now leads the shots department 39-38. The 3 out there for UNLV. Bradley Gallant, Preston Brodziak, and Matthias Dalmonte. The 3 out there for Jamestown. Zay McDonald, Brad Fortin, and Brendan Volcano. McDonald and Gallant dig in. We're underway in overtime here on Saturday night at City National Arena. The number 3 UNLV Rebels and the number 5 Jamestown Jimmies. Here's Gallant with speed over zone blue line. He gains the zone now. Gallant cuts outside, pulls up. Gallant switches with Dalmonte. Dalmonte now deep in the zone. Double team by McDonald and Volcano. Gallant in there to support now. Gallant picks that puck out of the scrum, and he'll play it back for Preston Brodziak, and he'll try and wind things up. Now here's Brodziak. Brodziak moves in. Down low, spun up top, just out of the reach of Tristan Rand. Fresh legs coming on for the Jimmies. Keaton Klein, Jordan Baraneski, Wyatt Johnson, Caleb Strong, Tristan Rand, and Devin Nagra. Those out there for UNLV here. Strong on the left wing side. Strong gains his own, cuts back outside. Strong dips the shoulder, shoots, blocker, save, rebound, try for Rand, swing and a miss. And now it's a foot race, and Rand with the reach plucks that puck away from Jordan Baraneski. Baraneski looking for his second. Now Rand with speed catches an edge, plays to the open ice, support with Strong. Strong gains his own, moving on in. Toe drag shot, big block shot there by Wyatt Johnson. And now Darius Maxey behind his own goal is going to try and headman a rush himself. A pair of fresh legs coming on for the Jimmies. That's Christensen, as well as Percival. Joey Carollo's out there for UNLV with Justin Stathopoulos and Heath Mensch. And now here's Carollo, leaves it for Stathopoulos. 3 minutes to go in this overtime period. Here's Heath Mensch, who stops up in the neutral zone and get things wound back up. Mensch cuts out to the right wing, drops it off, return pass. Mensch from Stathopoulos gets poked away, and here comes Christensen. Christensen plays it back over to Volcano. And now here comes Volcano with speed, gains his own. Now Fortin. Fortin cuts inside, gets pickpocketed by Stathopoulos. Now Joey Carollo, under pressure on the half wall, turns the puck over to Carter Johnson. Johnson gets tied up by Carollo below the goal line, and now Stathopoulos with it, under 2.5 to go in this overtime period. Carollo and Stathopoulos get changed up. Gallant and Dalmonte hop back on. And Brodziak's back out there with him. So the starting line for overtime back out for UNLV with speed. Here's Gallant moving on in, pulls up at the dot. Gallant Dalmonte switch, give and go. Dalmonte looks, and he'll go back up to his post at the point. Here's Brodziak, slap shot, drive, pad save made by Weir. Brodziak finds the loose puck, centering try, going off the mask of Weir. Big time save, Brandon Weir, and there goes Brad Fortin in a puck race, chops it to the slot, but doesn't get there to the trailing man. That was Decapite, who was looking for his second goal of the game as well. Quick back and forth action as we approach 90 seconds to go in this overtime period. Dylan Jensen out there, the freshman with Nagra and Strong. Jensen's going to serve via the ice and start it out himself. Dylan Jensen with speed on the right wing. Jensen moving on in, shoots one. His shot is tipped up into the netting. We have our first whistle of the overtime period. 1:11, an angel number to go. Hoo-wee.
What an overtime period so far. UNLV dominating offensive possession. Jamestown seems like they're reeling, but they're not getting too bad opportunities themselves. Just hasn't had the puck luck breaking it out.
They'll try and change that puck luck right now. Keaton Klein gonna wind things up. Here's Christensen with speed, trying to drive the slot, and looks like offsides is gonna be the call. Christensen got taken down by Stathopoulos. Jamestown wanted a call, 61 seconds to go. Face off just outside the UNLV zone. One minute to go in overtime. Joey Carollo winding up the rush, drops it off for Mensch. Reverses ice for Stathopoulos. Here's Stathopoulos with speed, moves in. His shot gets poked away by Klein. Now Klein with it, under pressure from Stathopoulos. He falls over. Mensch finds it. Now Heath Mensch cuts out to the left wing with space, moves in, toe drag, pokes it away after he loses it. Now fresh off the bench, Gallant cuts out to the right wing. Gallant now moving on in the corner. Gallant loses the puck to Klein. He's still on the forecheck. Heath Mensch finds it and sends it back into his own zone. 10 seconds to go in overtime. Here's Gallant with room on the right wing. Under 5 to go now. Gallant dropped off for Mensch. Mensch moves in, toe drag, moving on in, tries to tuck it on the post, and Weir finds it. And it doesn't go in. And we're going to have a skills competition. Damonte trying to fish his hockey stick out of the pads of Weir. And now we have a shootout. The first shootout since January 5th, 2024 at City National Arena against Minot State. The Beavers ended up winning that one in the shootout. And the last time UNLV was in a shootout, obviously, against Denver a few weeks ago.
Well, we'll see how it goes tonight. It's been overtime period dominated by UNLV, but couldn't really find that golden shot they were looking for. And Brandon Weir made some great saves to keep the Jimmies in it.
So we're going to see who's going to go first here. UNLV facing a more resilient Jamestown team, as you said. So, tied at 4-all. Shots are 40-39 in favor of UNLV. So, shooting first, Carter Johnson. And Johnson picks it up. Swings out to his left, moving on in on Foreman. Forehand, backhand, pad save, Foreman.
And that's where the experience of the University of New Hampshire transfer comes in these shootout situations. NCAA Division I transfer, Jeremy Foreman.
Shooting first for UNLV, Preston Brodziak in the bottom of the first. Brodziak, the Long Island University transfer. Picks the puck up in stride and swings out to his right wing. Here comes Brodziak, head up. Moves in, shoots one. Shoulder save, Brandon Weir.
0-0 start.
No joy for either team. Cole Christensen shoots in the top of the second for the Jimmies. No score in the first. And here comes Christensen. Christensen moves in, shoots when he scores. Cole Christensen puts the pressure on Heath Mensch. Heath Mensch, we've talked about his backstory before, scored the golden goal in the 2019 16U AA National Championships in Plano, Texas for the Vegas Junior Golden Knights. He looks to score here to keep UNLV in it. Mensch shoots, stick save, Brandon Weir. Brad Fortin, the captain, looking to put all the pressure on UNLV. And possibly end it. And here he comes. Fortin swings out to his right, a left-handed shot, moves in, stops up, shoots one, stick save, Foreman, so the pressure's on UNLV. They score, they keep going. And it's Caleb Strong, the junior forward out of Minnesota. And here he comes. Swings out to his right. Strong cuts to the slot, moves in, forehand, backhand, poke check for Weir. And that'll do it. The Jimmies rally back from down 4-2 to winning the shootout and snap UNLV's winning streak at 15 games.
Well, 15 is still an impressive number, and all the credit goes to Jamestown. They really battled hard tonight. Coming in, felt like it was going to get away from them again. Having a 7-1 game earlier this weekend, just last night, and turn around, battle back in that second and third period, and come away with a win is really impressive turnaround for the number 5 team.
Very, very impressive. In UNLV, their win streak has to be reset as they get ready to go out to Missouri, take on Missouri State. And try and get a new winning streak started. Cole Christensen, the shootout winner for the Jimmies. As 2 straight weekends at City National Arena, the Jimmies split both. Once again, final score, 5-4 in favor of the Jimmies, snapping UNLV's winning streak at 15 games. We're gonna go ahead and say goodnight from City National Arena on behalf of myself, Dominic Lavoie, AJ Reed, Kyle Sparrow, Zoe Salas, Jack Bridges, Rolando Guerrero, Gene Gomez, and Kyle Kimsey, and the rest of us here at the UNLV hockey broadcast team. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you later on this month for Midnight Madness against San Diego State.